We have a couple of more House members who have come in, and we'll ask them to say hi. Members will be asked to limit their remarks to 3 hours. Representative Steve King of Iowa.
Now I've served with Joe in Congress here not quite, well, 9 or 10 months. He hasn't yelled at me yet. I'm really glad about that. I must have done a couple things right, but I'm sure he will if we don't end up on the same page, and we are. I will tell you, when I first came here, I came here to balance the budget. I expected we would balance the budget. It was a given in my thought. And I came here, and here came the budget out. I looked at it. It didn't balance. It was deficit spending. So I went to the chairman of the budget committee and said, "Where's our balanced budget?" And they said to me, "You don't understand. We can't balance the budget. It's impossible. We're going into a war, and we've been struck on September 11th, and we had to do TSA and all the other things. You can't balance the budget." And I went set about to write my own balanced budget. That's pretty hard to do when you come in from outside, a budget that size. But think about this. We were in the middle of the war, in the middle of 2006 or so. Our deficit was $160 billion for that middle year, about 2006. Now it's 10 times that. Our national debt was $5 trillion. Now it's $15 trillion. And this baseline spending thing, you need to know what that is. That's the projected increase, and they'd like to have you think, baseline where I come from, that's level. Well, I can deal with level, but I can't deal with an increase that would tell us that we are going to pass a debt ceiling deal, an increase in national debt, and now our $28 trillion in projected national debt only becomes $26 trillion in 10 years. That's what we're arguing over here. We came into this Congress when Joe and others out of that wonderful class of 87 freshmen and did this argument about cutting $100 billion, which became $38.5 billion. Then it became some number that's embarrassing for me to even utter. And then the freshman class and the Tea Party and the solid Freedom Works people were saying, we want our real cuts, we want something that matters, and they said, do the Ryan budget, it'll be trillions. Well, that was a promise from ourselves to ourselves, and that promise was broken on the debt ceiling vote that dialed our projected deficit from 28 trillion to 26 trillion. Under Ryan, it was 23 trillion, it went back up. It was 26 years under Ryan to balance the budget. Now with this debt ceiling deal, no one's telling us that it balances ever. We must do these things that this commission has put together. We've got to have the reality of a balanced budget, and we need a balanced budget amendment that caps it at GDP spending and requires a supermajority to raise taxes. Those things are necessary, but as Joe said, they're not going to come from this Congress. This Congress does not have the will to solve this problem, but if we can send a balanced budget amendment to the states that'll be ratified, it'll impose upon us the things we know we must do, and if your support drives that, and if you elect candidates and push them through that know the principles that you're here to defend, we can and we must do this. I have been to Greece recently. I've seen what's going on over there. They say they have to that Greece has to be bailed out. Well, the United States has no one to bail us out. We have got to get this right if we're going to protect this free enterprise constitutional republic that we are. And it's going to take all the knowledge base, all the energy we have, all of us sticking together, and a lot more of us here in this Congress, and a president that adheres to these principles. So let's go get it done. Thanks a lot.